All right, what's good, chat? We're finally live. It took me a few minutes to get rolling. I just wanted to share my stream and make sure it got out there. Thank you guys so much for joining. We got a special stream today. I'm going to show you guys some of the behind the scenes stuff I've been working on in Makerworld. Some of the models I've been, working on quietly in the background. And showing you guys my next up and coming project. I'm also going to do a guide and walk you guys through how you can use Makerworld and chatgpt to make your own 3D models to print and turn a simple picture into an actual tangible 3D model. So here we go. We got image to 3D model here in Makerworld. As you can see, I've been quietly working on a Chung-Li right here. I'm going to show you guys how I actually prompt and made that one real simple. I really do like this model. And as you guys can see, I got a couple more. I haven't decided which one I want to make, but this one is absolutely kind of good. It could be a little bit better. That's it in color, but that's how I was actually going to look in the 3D mesh. I like that one. And I also like this one right here as well. That one came out pretty okay for what it's worth. So this here's makerworld.com. is absolutely free. There should be a link popping up in my chat momentarily where you guys can actually get the link and join the site. It's absolutely free. And no, this is not sponsored. One of the things I love about this website is, man, I can make virtually anything and everything, and it's unlimited. It truly is unlimited. I got my credits up here. I get credits for creating an account. You get credits for uploading and making models, but generating models itself is absolutely free. The only thing that costs credits is actually turning these bad boys into STL files and 3ML files, but there's only 2 credits a pop. So at almost 1450 credits, I mean, I essentially am limitless in what I can make and print. But this is my little Chung-Li model I was thinking about making. I kind of like that one. It's really good. And this is the original model that we based this off of. Looks absolutely fantastic. Almost 1 for 1. Absolutely fantastic. I could use a little bit more detail, and that might be one of the things I touch on. But without further ado, let's really get into it. We're going to open up, obviously, Makerworld, and we got our chatgpt here. And just a quick, simple prompt. Let me see. I'm trying to see if we can find our original photo here, because this is what, hang on. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, this is I'm trying to see if I can find our original photo here. But this is what we did. We put her on a nice little pedestal, and it turned her into a 3D mesh model. So I'm going to show you guys from the ground up exactly what I want to do and how I use chatgpt to make my base model here. So let's start off with our photos here. Excuse me. Okay, real quick. There is a model that I'm supposed to be making. Yeah, fan art. There it is. All right, so this is our thumbnail picture here. It's just a female Super Saiyan I saw on Twitter. I saw it, I thought it was pretty cool. I figured, hey, this might actually make a really cool model. So one of the things I want to do, I know a lot of people don't really like AI like that, but it's kind of handy for this type of deal here. So what I want is, first and foremost, I want to turn this photo into a full photo, and then I want to make sure it's a detailed 2D image, because we are going 2D to 3D. And one of the problems I had when I first started doing this was I was going 3D to 3D, and it wasn't really making the models as clean and as clear as we can. So let's start off with our first prompt here. The first thing we're going to want is a fully detailed picture of this image. And I'm going to kind of walk you guys through how I actually make this happen. So let's take a look here. Let's get, let me see. How do I want this photo? I want a highly detailed, make this a highly detailed 2D, oops, if I can spell. It's a highly detailed 2D digital drawing. I know that going 2D to 3D and having this as detailed as possible is actually going to make the model look a lot better. Make this a highly detailed 2D digital drawing and make this a full size image. She needs to be standing on a, I'm debating if I want to put her on a base or if I actually want to create a separate backdrop for her. I'm not quite sure yet. Let's see. Let's see what we get. She needs to be standing on a square base made of rocks. And let's see, like an action figure. Base needs to be rocky or mountainous and highly detailed. Oops. Let's just start off with a simple prompt. Let's see if it'll actually make this one for us. And while we wait for that to cook, I'll go through some of these other models I made here. Obviously, I got my Sakura here. This is one of my favorites. This one came out, I don't know if it's going to load. Hang on. Okay. There it is. This Sakura came out so good. And this is the one I made earlier. I still haven't painted this one. I still have the full backdrop. And this, again, is the original image. And I made this one straight up. Some of these models, some of the pictures, that they're really good. You can actually get away with not having to alterate it, not having to, you know, rescale it or redo it in ChatGPT or anything like that. You can actually get away with uploading some of these models. A prime example of that is actually the original Lady Deadpool model that I had. This actually was going to be the initial model for Lady Deadpool until I decided to actually give her a full backdrop. And as you can see, this is fantastic. I'm still going to end up doing this one just because. But I mean, this allows you to turn any image straight up into just like an actual 3D model. And then obviously we have the actual model we made here, which again, we originated from that image. And this is what I love. I feel like I'm back in high school or middle school, where it's like I can see a picture and I can envision an entire scene for it. I can envision an entire thing for it. And I actually can just, in a few minutes, have an entire set piece. Like, this is the backdrop for Sakura. Just real simple, just a nice little brick wall, a urban setting. I'm actually putting that together in the background as we speak. And obviously I got a couple of Warhammer models for fan arts that I've seen. Like that one. I still want that one to be more of a full image, but even that will make just a fun little bust to paint, have some fun with. For me, it's about creating a 1-for-1 replica. Can I take a picture that I see and turn it into a full-fledged 1-for-1 of the original image? And again, this is another one, full image model, just a little bit of fun in ChatGPT. I actually have not printed or exported this one yet. I'm debating on it, but I haven't made up my mind yet. That again is just something for fun, just for messing around and kind of just getting into it. Oh, ChatGPT does not want to make our model. So let's actually dump that. Yeah. Let's try this again. Sometimes, for whatever reason, it won't give me a hard time. Matter of fact, let me check something real quick. Right back. Okay, I'm back. I just want to change my whatchamacallit. Let me see here. Okay, so this is our Lady Deadpool. Now, some things you can't make, obviously, because copyright issues and stuff like that. That one was actually pretty tough to actually get a full size. There we go. So let's try this again. Let's start with the basics. Let's see if we can actually get this to be a full size 1-for-1 image. As a matter of fact, while we're waiting for that, I can actually give you an actual demonstration of how Makerworld works here. So what we can do, now see, I can take this image and just straight up load it in like that, but it's no guarantee that it's going to, generate a usable model. But we're going to take a look here at one of my favorite programs to use, the Hunyan 3D 3.0. That one consistently makes really good models, like consistently makes pretty decent. This one was okay. Granted, I felt like her midsection was a little high on that one. That was really my biggest concern. It felt like her stomach, her midsection was a little large. Now, this is not meant to be perfect, nor is it meant to really replace actually using Blender and 3D modeling. But just as someone who's learning Blender, having something I can work with, like I can toss this into Blender, make some details, make some changes, add some things to this if I so choose, or I can throw this in Blender and just mess around, see what different settings do, kind of play around, because I basically have a model, but now it's like, okay, let me see the detail work. Let me play around with it. Let me see what actually what does what, basically. Like, I know this is Chung-Li and I know she's supposed to look a certain way. And if something's off, I can kind of get in there and mess around and say, hey, this will be her head should be a little bit higher, or her shoulders should be a little bit squared. I can get into Blender and make those small changes and things like that. See what a digital drawing looks like. Perfect. Super Saiyan Warrior in a battle stance. Now let's do this. Place her on a round base, like a green statue. And again, this is just a real simple way to turn a picture into just a quick 3D model. because I love when I can see a picture and it's like, you know what? I want to paint that one for one. I want to paint that one for one. And again, this is one of the models that I made using an actual 3D mesh. Same way ChatGPT. Absolutely awesome how that turned out. I rarely go 3D for 3D, but this one actually came out pretty dang good. You know, we got the right finger count, 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have any extra weird fingers or anything. Our hands are on our hips, so we're not going to see the thumb regardless. Again, just really good detail work, because that's the one thing you want to make sure you focus on. Is you want to make sure the base is going to be right. You want to make sure the fingers are going to be right. You want to make sure the minor details, the little things are going to be right. I'm not worried about the paint so much, because again, that's something I've got to do when I get in here. And the one thing about this is that this does not have the ability to fill in what it cannot see. So when you generate this image here, it can't see the back. So it's going to have to kind of guess what the back looks like. This I would just paint in blue and just call it even anyway. If I was actually to paint this, and I can actually just paint in and do the actual details on her shirt myself, or again, learning Blender, I could see if I could maybe make something to go right here, maybe fill in the rest of the shirt, just kind of mess around. But I hadn't gotten that far in Blender quite yet. But this right here would be something fun to paint. So boom, real quick. Again, we can just take this image, boom, turn it into something. And it's not perfect. It's not perfect. It is not really meant to be. And this is something I would throw on Blender just to mess around with and just see, hey, can I fix something? Can I change something? Like, can we fix this leg? Can we eliminate the fingers and actually get into Blender and change that? But for right now, and I know I got work soon, and it's really going to be a short live stream, I'll probably get more into it this weekend and really do a deep dive into it. But for right now, this is just going to be a surface level kind of deal. Also, give me 1 second. I meant to share this with a friend of mine because I know he wanted to see this. Okay, send that to my buddy real quick. This is really supposed to be for him. All right, so let's go back to ChatGPT. It does not want to actually give me this. All right, I got what I wanted out of this. So let me see about. Let's see. Okay, so I got that. Let's do this. Let's take that picture and let's see if we can't make this an actual figurine. Needs to be standing on a ground. Let's just get rid of that. Needs to be standing on a base. Like a, let me see. I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible right now, just for the simplicity of this video. Let's see, make this a highly detailed digital drawing. She's standing on a basic figurine or action figure. Let me see. Should be Rocky. Keeper and those O's. Because ultimately what I want is I want a full size image because I want to get her feet. I want to get everything. So if I can get that, that would be absolutely positively fantastic. Let's see what else we can make here while we're waiting on that. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I do have. Ooh, I do have. Let's see. I do have a couple of models in here I did want to try to make. You know what? For fun, let's see what we can get out of this. This Vegeta Big Bang Attack. Let's see what we can get out of that. I just want to see how that's going to actually look if I try to turn that into something. Also, what the? Okay. Yes. It looks like we might have something cooking in the background. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to grab me a drink. I'll be right back, chat. All right, let's rock, let's roll, let's see what we're working with. Yes. Okay, so now we got our base model. We got the full thing. That's the main thing I want. Just real nice, real simple, really detailed. It looks great. We got the entire body. Let's see here. So let's download this real quick. I'm actually just going to go ahead and override the other one we just saved. Now, make this a highly detailed 3D mesh model. Keep the both same. Base squared. Let's see if we can make this a mesh model, and let's see if we can make this a squared base. I can do that. Just clarify the first thing. Now, see, sometimes it will actually try to make a real 3D mesh model, which always throws me the hell off. And I've actually gotten ChatGPT to make me an actual STL, which is so weird to me. So let's go back. Let's make a new one. Damn warrior girl. Let's bring her in here. It's a highly detailed 3D model. Pose the same and make the base square. Sure. Rocks. Base and make sure it is highly detailed. Let's see if it actually make us a 3D image. Oh, that looks awful. Yeah, so that would never work. So sometimes, again, you can get away with just straight up using the OG picture, and sometimes you can't. So what I want to do now is I'm going to show you guys. Let's make this an actual model. We're going to actually make this live. Yeah, we're going to actually make this live on our channel here. So we're going to go to export. And again, you get more credits the more stuff you make, the more things you upload. I have enough credits right now. I'm gonna redeem another 10, even though I don't, actually another 100, even though I don't need them. But I mean, that's my favorite part about Makerworld, is that I essentially can just keep trying, keep going until I find something that I like, or I find something I feel comfortable with editing and playing around with. And again, with so many points, you get to a point where you can just constantly generate and make models, and it's absolutely fantastic. The downside of this is that if you don't have a Bamboo Labs printer, you're going to have to kind of do a few things differently. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean here in just a second. Once it's actually finished uploading, I'm actually going to show you guys around Makerworld as well. You don't have to generate your own models. You can actually use some of the models on Makerworld, and some of these guys have some fantastic artwork, and a lot of it is original. Let's see here. So for me, I have a Flash Forge Adventurer, not a Bamboo Labs. I'm going to download the STL file. So I have me an entire STL file list. I'm going to call it Chong Lee Back Pose. Boom. So that we're going to slam dunk in our 3D printer. Now, the one thing to remember is that how it looks here in Makerworld is not how it's going to look when you open it up in your slicer. This is just a rough estimate of what it will look like. How it looks in your slicer is how it's actually going to look. So I'm going to go ahead and download a 3MF file as well. Excuse me. This 3MF file will be good for Bamboo Labs and other printers that use a 3MF file style. That way those guys can download it too. So again, we're going to call it Chung Lee Back Pose. Boom. Easy as that. That model's now in our inventory. So let's go back. I'm dehydrated, I swear to God. Boom. We got a first look at Makerworld. And again, look at some of these models. Again, you don't have to do AI. You don't have to do this. I go through what I go through because I like seeing something and trying to paint it. Again, there are some beautiful models. Look at this. Like, look at this. I might actually print this for a friend just to paint it. Because at the end of the day, for me, it's all about painting. And I want to paint something when I see it. That looks fantastic. That is very well detailed. And I can't stress enough, this is free. I can download this right now, slam dunk this bad boy in Orca Slicer. Bada bing, bada boom. I can print. This is actually pretty damn good for a free model. I can't stress this enough. This is one of my favorite websites to go to. Look at this. Son Gohan, Kid Gohan, the ultimate Gohan, the only Gohan we ever acknowledge in the world. Peak Gohan, fantastic model. And again, that's just the tip of the iceberg, man. We have some really cool stuff here. We got a good Predator. Oh, life-size DBZ Bobbity Custom. Wow. Look at that. Again, there's just some fantastic models in here. And again, all of this is free. All of this is free. I can download and make all of these models. So if you check out Makerworld, highly suggest it, man. It is one, excuse me, my goodness. It's one of my favorite websites for making content or making 3D models, printing 3D models. You can think of it. Makerworld probably has it sitting up here somewhere. So I'm going to go back, let's go back. Boom. I'm going to actually try to print this here. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you guys how it's going to look. So let me do this. So I can actually show you guys how this is going to look. And then we're going to try to make our Super Saiyan 3D model here real quick. Okay. Let's see. Let me add this window capture real quick. Select window capture, worker slicer. Check. Okay. I don't know if it's actually showing up or not. Oh, I don't. Dang, bro, y'all can't see my. I can't see my orca slicer. Why not? Hang on. Orca slicer automatic. Title. Y'all cannot see. Oh, that's lame. So you guys can actually see what she's going to look like in Orca Slicer because she looks fantastic as a final model. Like as the final model, it's fantastic. It literally doesn't really need any work. It's highly detailed. It already looks good. Let me see something. There it is. Yeah. So you guys can actually see it now. Perfect. That's what I was worried about. So let's get a quick zoom in. Let's get an actual detailed look here. Perfect. You guys can see this. So this is what it's going to look like when it's actually on the slicer versus what it looks like when it is. Let's see. And the actual. Hold on. So yeah, I can see the difference. So that's what it looks like in the Makerworld account here. And again, this is just a rough mesh. Doesn't mean that's what's going to look like on the actual slicer here. So let's switch that back around. We can see the difference in the detail here. That dress could use a little bit more detail, but for the most part, it's fantastic. I can do some fill-in work with the paint myself and add some detail, add some little things here. This is going to be fun. That base could use a little bit more detail, but considering the fact I didn't ask for that, I just kind of rolled with it. I like it. It looks solid. It looks pretty good. Let's look at her. Yeah, her face came out pretty well. Her nose came out pretty cute. Her eyes look pretty nice. Again, her fingers, fantastic. We don't have any weird extra fingerage in this jam, do we? You might. Nah. 4 fingers and a thumb. And again, I know a lot of people hate on AI. But man, this is one of those situations where I really love the application and the use of AI because now it goes from being, oh, that would be a really cool painting, or man, how would that look as a 3D model, to like, now I can actually imagine something and come up with something. And that to me is really freaking awesome. I'm going to cut on my printer. I'm going to see if I can actually print this real I'm going to see if I can get that to print. When it does, what I'll ultimately end up doing is posting this on the website. So let's get a quick look at our girl here. What AI did I use? I used ChatGPT. I'm going to actually go back to that in just a second because we have a Super Saiyan model that I'm working on now. Just a fan art picture I saw. I thought it'd be really cool to try to replicate that. So let's see. She's at 100 millimeters. She's not going to be super big. Let's take a quick preview. I don't know if she'll need supports. We're going to look. I'm going to see exactly what it'll do. Oh, really? Only take an hour. You know what? Just for the sake of this video and this live stream, I'm going to go ahead and print it this size. If it takes an hour, default. And yes, Chung-Li is yammed up. For my gooners out there wondering, yes, Chung-Li is thick. Okay. So that's going to take just under 2 hours, hour 50, 31 grams, 31.19 grams of filament. So you know what? Just for the sake of this stream and just for the sake of this video, let's go ahead and toss her on the printer. I'm going to queue up the Uwu machine here in the background. I'm going to send that over to the printer. And again, you can make 3D models almost instantaneously through this method. All right, boom. So we're going to let the printer do its thing in the background, and then we're going to come back to that in a little while. So boom, let's get back into our model making situation here. And this right here, again, is the website Makerworld. This is where I make most of my models at. I like this one. I forgot what I didn't like about it. Oh, her necklace. So this is the first couple of Chung-Li models I made. This is our base form. This is where that came from. And this is going to turn that into a 3D model. As you can see, again, the downside of 2D to 3D is that when you go 3D, the AI has to guess what the other half of this image looks like. And I'll show you the difference in a little bit and why I run some of these through ChatGPTs, how to get past some of the hurdles that we have. Because some instances, there's some times where you want to make something, but the pose of a character is a little weird. And it makes it a little hard to print that. I like this model, but I'm not going to keep it. Boom. Again, and this is the backdrop I did for Lady Deadpool, if you guys remember. That's our Lady Deadpool here. Hope you guys can actually see that. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, that's our Lady Deadpool. That crate there in the background is literally this. I made that entire base in ChatGPT, came up with a concept and the idea and pieced it together. But that's where that base came. And again, that was just something I kind of came with on the fly. Boom. So let's go back to our... See, ChatGPT wants to turn this into an actual STL file. I don't want to do that. I don't actually want this to be an STL file, not through ChatGPT. I just want to make this. Okay. So let me ask it. Let's turn that into a 3D image because ChatGPT wants to make that into a actual mesh model. Now, again, I've gotten ChatGPT to make me an actual 3D mesh file, and I wasn't impressed with it. It didn't come out too well, but it is interesting that it actually will make a 3D mesh model. This is our other Chung-Li here in our front facing pose. And one of the things I did was, let me see, show you guys how I did it. I took this model, I asked it, hey, turn it around and make it 3D. And that's how we got that model. And this one actually came out pretty okay. A lot of time I like to go 2D to 3D. Sometimes you can get away with 3D to 3D. Again, the downside is it doesn't really have much of a back image to work with. So let's see if we can't play around with this real quick. And right here, you can see we got a couple of models we can play with. Hungyan 3D is one of my favorite. Tripio AI 3.0 is pretty solid too. Let's play around with that one real quick. Let's do our Chun-Li 3D mesh model. We're just gonna go generate. Boom. We're gonna let that cook and see exactly how that's gonna look. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. I've already exported that. I'm gonna get rid of this one. I'm gonna get rid of this one since I already exported it. And again, this is my, she might have missed this earlier. This was the original Lady Deadpool. This was the 3D bust I made of Lady Deadpool. From that image right there. Just ran it straight through. Was like, you know what? I still might go back and print this. I still might go back and make that because that is a really cool mesh model. That would be a fantastic bust. Just something to put on the desk or your backdrop. I might actually go print that and do this entire thing just for fun. That's the Sakura backdrop I did. Street Fighter. Again, I'll show you guys how to do some of the prompts. I've gotten into making backdrop set pieces for my 3D prints versus just having it on a round base. For me, I want to actually make a set piece. This is another model I've been meaning to print for the longest time. The hair's a little jank. The sore's going through her head. So I'm like, I don't know if I can get away with that one. But I do like the overall look of that model. But I'm going to actually go back and do something with that one because I want to create an entire set piece for it. So that's cooking. Let's see what ChatGPT did. Bada bing, bada boom. We got a 3D model here. So let's download this. Boom. I'm going to put this into my photo ideas. Saiyan Warrior Girl. Call this Saiyan Girl. Bam. Just real quick, just real simple. From 2D to 3D. Now I could have kept that as a 2D image and I might just. It really is going to boil down. Let's see. Boom. And we got our Chun-Li. Look at that. Hey. And we got the, let's go. It actually filled the whole thing in. And this is what I love is I can use different AI models to kind of play around with this. So let's turn this into a mesh. Let's see how it looks. Obviously, there's some detail. And this is where you can get into a Makerworld and really start toying around with detail work, putting like wrinkles into things, raising certain areas, stuff like that. Like this is a pretty good one, but it's not really the best detailed. And this is the downside of using a 3D mesh model because you can see the lines here in her legs, which is why I always try to go 2D to 3D instead. It picked that up in the model itself. So it actually picked up the mesh lines in that model. And it will make that model look a little bit weird. But we got a pretty good look at how it will look. But I'm not really satisfied with that. And again, this is where I love ChatGPT Makerworld because I can just keep swinging. I can just keep going. But let's see what our Saiyan Warrior is going to look like. Now, if I wanted to get fancy, what I would do is I would remove the base and I will make a backdrop in of itself. And I actually might do that. You know what? let's get fucking creative. Let's actually show people that, you know what, you can be creative with AI. You can be creative with virtually anything. Creativity does not have a limit. Let's not just make a Saiyan warrior statue or Saiyan warrior model. Let's make an entire fucking scene out of this thing. Let's see if I can actually pull this off. And again, this is Makerworld. This shit is absolutely free. I cannot stress enough. You do not have to use AI. I know some people are against AI, but you can really get in here and find some dope ass models. There are some really good people in here that can really make some creative stuff. And if you're getting into 3D printing, look at this. They got a life-size Majin fucking Vegeta. Life-size, bro. And you can print this for free. Like, literally, you can paint this you can literally download this and get this for free. Like, it's absolutely amazing, the barrier to entry that's been lowered. Look at this. Look at all these models. And there's some really good stuff in here, man. Also, let me check my printer set. All right, so we got our Chun-Li printing in the background. So let's get creative here. I'm going to see if I can find a Saiyan ship. If I can find like a Saiyan space pod, I'm going to build an entire scene for our Super Saiyan warrior here real quick. Let me see if I can find like a ship or anything. Let me see if I can find Saiyan space pod, Goku spaceship. Okay, that's kind of cute. Let's see. Oh, I even got a little baby Goku in it, but I just want the ship. Let's see if we can find a Super Saiyan ship, Super Saiyan space pod. Okay. Did someone only make one? All right, you know what? You might have to get a little creative, boys. Yeah, we don't have a Super Saiyan space pod. Or maybe I'm just spelling it wrong. Yes. No, that's the charger. Let me see. Female Super Saiyan. Someone's already doing it. I'm trying to see if I can find a Saiyan space pod, because I would love for it to look like she just landed. Let's see. Ooh. Dude, come on. Makerworld has some incredible shit. That's actually dope. That's actually dope. Okay. I'm getting sidetracked. I'm sorry. Goku Pokeball, Dragon Ball Gravity Ship. You know what? Do I have to put that together though? Let's see. Yeah, see, I had to put that together. I'm more interested in putting together a solid piece versus putting together multiple pieces. I got the Broly in here. All right. So we might have to get a little creative here, buddy. All right, so let's do this. Let's go back to our model first. Let's see if it actually made. And see, it did not make our base. It did not make our base. For whatever reason, it did not make the base. Let's see. I'm not. Yeah, it didn't really get the facial details the way I wanted to. So let's do this. Boink, boink, boink. Move the base. Let's see if we can get her without a base. I'm going to go back to old reliable Hunyan 3D 3.0. Let's try. Let's use our 2D image and see how well that translates. In the meantime, we're going to let that finish cooking. Okay, so that should be done in just a second. I would love nothing more than the Saiyan ship in the background. That to me would really make this shit look cool as fuck. And I'm coming up with the concept in my head. If I can land the model, I could land the set piece. And we got Chung Li. She's printing in the background. That is going swimmingly right now. So we're gonna let that cook up. What? Let's do this. Nope. Those details. Saiyan Warrior Girl. Keep this. Oops. Right. Highly detailed. All right. You know what? I want to keep it simple. Let's see if I can get her off the base real quick. If I could take her off the base, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how I plan on building a set piece. And I don't necessarily have to use this model for the idea that I have. I literally could go into Makerworld, find me a Dragon Ball statue, and just make this entire set piece that I have in my head. But I kind of want to have something different here. You did just hear Taco Bell. That's my soundboard. That is my entire soundboard. Yeah, for some reason, it keeps removing the bass, which I'm not mad about. Yeah, for some reason, it is not going to give me a high quality. Let's see. Yeah, it's butchering that bass. So we might have to actually... Let me run that back. Okay. No, you're supposed to take her off the base. That's the only thing I hate about ChatGPT is sometimes it does not act like it understands what I want. If not, we'll use a different model. And this is the only downside about ChatGPT is you're limited in how many images you can generate. But the cool thing about ChatGPT is that you can just jump into a secondary email and just keep going. So I'm going to show you guys some of this. This is the Sakura background that I started off with. This was a set piece. That's the one that actually tried to turn into, let's see. That one is the one that actually tried to turn into a, my brain just cut off. It tried to turn it into an STL file. That's what it did. And it's like, no, I don't want an STL file. I really do just need. All right. Y'all don't want to generate that. That's fine. What I want, I probably shouldn't have had her generated on a base. I might actually have to go back to the original photo. That's going to take a couple of minutes. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I really want to get this model right. And this is the only thing that sucks is the waiting part. But I'm going to show you guys. I don't know if it's going to pick up or not. Is it? No, you guys can't see my my photo ideas and stuff like that. But there's a couple of models in here that I really wanted to do. Yeah, I don't like that one. I'm actually going to drop that one. I don't want to do that one. Oh, you guys haven't seen my female Venom. There we go. And it'll take a couple of tries. Sometimes it will take a couple of tries to really kind of get it. And it's still not really perfect. But what we've been aiming for and what we've been getting might be one of our best models yet. And again, I can get in the blender, but I know I'm not going to have the time to try to modify her fingers, shorten them up, bring them down a little bit. I'm going to have to actually have a video separate for that. That's a pretty solid model. And a lot of times it just takes running it through a couple of times to really get it right. So worst case scenario, that could be our model. It's not bad, it's just not great. So one more time, I'm going to use that as my kind of default. Hold on. What did I use? Did I go 2D or 3D? That's 3D. Okay. I'm going to try that. I'm going to generate it one more time. And sometimes I like to kind of play around just to see which model maker is going to make the best actual model. Let's see. So since we kind of got something to work with, now I kind of want to work my way into a backdrop, some kind of background, a something. I want to know. You know what? I might have to find me a sand ship so that way I can actually put this bad boy together. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find the sand space pod. I'm surprised no one has one. Hang on, there's one more website I'm going to check out. There's a website called Printable. I think it's called Printables. Because I really want a sand space pod for the backdrop. So let me see. There it is. This is my other website. Printables.com is also another one of those free websites where you can find virtually anything. It's kind of like Makerworld, but I don't think I don't think they have whatchamacallit, like an actual model maker. So give me 2 seconds. Let me log in. I don't want to dox myself. I will be right back. Okay. I'm back. Sorry about that. I also need to upload here too. Printables is free. Makerworld is free. Let's see if we can find. Oh no, they don't have any. They really don't have anything? They do have DBZ, but see, this site doesn't have a lot. It's not quite like Makerworld. Yeah, I am not going to find that space pod. So we're going to have to get a little creative. Oh, that looks rough. Oh, that looks rough. Not quite there. Yeah, that looks awful. So I'm going to run one more. This one's going to take long. The Headon 3D 1.5. It's not a bad AI generator, but it's not one of my favorite. Also, someone sent a message. I did not see it. I don't know. I heard it go off, but I actually did not. I oof. Really now? All right, so that's going to take a while. I want to work on some type of backdrop. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can. Okay, we're back. I just had to swap my login. Why am I not seeing any? I hear my message notifications, but I actually don't see any messages. That's weird as fuck. I hear messages, but I don't see messages. Okay. So let's create an image. I want to create a backdrop. I need to create a set piece for our Saiyan warrior. I want to come up with something really neat. The hour 34 on our Chun-Li. Let's take a look. Oh, she's going to be tiny. She is going to be tiny in hindsight. Now that I'm actually seeing the model, she's going to be tiny as fuck. Okay. So let's see if we can create a backdrop for our Saiyan warrior here. And this is one of my favorite parts. So let's see. What I'm looking for is a highly detailed 2D digital drawing of a mountainous area. Of a mountainous area. Let's do rocks and boulders. Means to be a round pod spaceship. Here. Space pod. Highly. It's showing a single seat. Modular controls. Let's get a few modular controls in there. Single seat, a few modular controls. So we're gonna create our backdrop. Soundboard goes hard. Appreciate it, man. Listen, my stop, man. Listen. My soundboard has everything. The soundboard was for the podcast that never took off. The soundboards for everything that just never took off. But I got something for everything. Let's see here. This be a set, a backdrop. This will be a set piece as a backdrop. Let's just see what we get off the rip. And this is my favorite part, is I really want to get this part down packed. Because if I can get a set piece, we're going to be good. Because then I can make an entire DBZ style setting. So far, this is probably the best model I've been able to come up with so far. And maybe I'll give her an energy orb or something to put in the palm of her hand so that way it looks a little bit cooler. But for what it is, just for fun, just for something to paint, it's going to be awesome. Here. Let me see. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. So that would make a set piece. Okay. Place the ship on a square base like an figurine. This be back. Don't leave space ship and the edge. Figurine or statue piece. Backdrop. So let's see. We do have an interesting backdrop here. Let's take a look at that. That would be really cool to put the Sand Warrior right in front of that. Now, whether or not we get that entirely detailed or anything like that remains to be seen. But if we can actually get this to print or make a model close to this, it's going to be fucking epic. It's going to be fucking awesome. It might low-key be cool as shit. Let's see. We're still waiting on this one to cook. I'm just kind of playing around with that one just because I want to see what it does. I'm also going to check it on Chuck Lee. Hang on. We were close. Unfortunately, we ran into a little bit of a issue here with these supports. I always run into issues with my supports. See, we didn't get a whole lot printed. I'm going to reprint this anyway because this is way too small. But this is the base for our teeny tiny little Chung Lee. You guys can't even see her feet. So I'm actually going to re-queue this and reprint this. 1 second. We're going to print this a little bit bigger. I prepare. Let's actually make her big enough to fucking see, please. I kind of had a feeling that 100 meters was going to be a little too small. Let's make Chung Lee a little bit bigger, say. The 100 meters is way smaller than you think. Let's make her, actually make her detailable. Hey, how about we put her at about 180? And then we're going to do limb, tree supports, and see if we can't make her a little bit bigger. Now I do need to give me some more, print some stuff. Bam. Ooh, that's gonna take 6 hours. That will probably be done by the time I get off of work. And that's just assuming everything prints properly. Should at least be a little bit bigger. It's just, do I have enough filaments? Let me double check. Yeah, I might get away with this one. I'm gonna try. Send this bad boy back down the chute. Let's make her a little bit bigger than what we got her right now. Because she's so small, I literally won't be able to paint her. And then we're gonna finish making her sand. Perfect. So we got that cooking. Let's go back to our model generator. My God, we do got a long time to wait on that. And I highly doubt it's going to be that great. Look at this. This is a hell of a backdrop. So, let's see what we're working with here. We might actually be able to make this come together. Maybe, just maybe. We might be able to make this happen. Let's see. I'm going to save this one. And I have a special folder specifically for this. Photo ideas. Cuts. backdrops. Ew. You know what? I've been saving some of these in the wrong folders too. I have too many folders. Okay. I'm gonna save this as sand ship backdrop. Boom. We're just gonna save this as our sand ship backdrop. It's actually, oh man, that actually might be pretty dope. Assuming, I know it's not gonna get that perfectly. Printing this is the real challenge. Because having a cool concept, having a cool idea, piecing this shit all together is one thing. But actually being able to print it successfully, as you guys can see, that's the true challenge. But again, that's more of a user error. I do need to go in here and fix my Z settings, make sure everything's set up properly. I'm really curious. This is going to take 8.5 minutes. I swear to God, I feel like this is not going to print anything worth a damn. It's probably not. All right, well, while we wait for that, let's see what else. Let's see what else we can cook up, eh? I got a couple of prints in here I've been wanting to do. Let me see. We got Lady Deadpool. Already did that one. Let's see. I kind of want to do this Gundam. Let me see if I can make this. Yep, sure. So let's see if we can do that. Cause I would like to have a Gundam bust. Just for shits and giggles. And I'm pretty sure I can actually go look up some Gundam bust in here. My big beef is I just don't like printing small pieces and then trying to put that shit together. Because I've done it for a few friends and it is hell. A printer always finds a way to mess it up. So let's see if that's going to print. Ooh, I've hit my limit already. And this is the downside of ChatGPT. It's like, oh, I don't want to have to hit my limit already. I really don't. And this is going to take forever. All right, we got another. Oh, wait, hold on. Was it worth the wait? Absolutely the fuck not. It tried. But man, ooh, yeah, no. That's the downside. I don't hit them. 3D does it every now and then. Every now and then I'll get a really good one. Rarely do I ever really get a good one. Rarely do I ever get a good model from that. You know what? Let's go. I kind of like that. Why do I keep hearing notifications and not seeing notifications? Good Lord. You know what? I do like that. So let's do this. I gotta remember all my freaking 2D cuts. Okay. I might do something with that. Just for shits and giggles, I might actually do something with that. But let's see if I can actually put together this whole concept. The only thing I hate about this is that I just don't have full agency and control over how well some of these models are going to come out. Because I can't really tell, you know, the generator, hey, make sure you focus on this area. Hey, make sure this part's really detailed. I kind of just had to take whatever the hell it gives me a lot of the time. My Sakura, I don't need that. I'm going to get rid of some of the things I've already exported, including these OG Chung Lees. This is actually the first Chung Lee model I wanted to do. Absolutely love the way it came out. But it's missing the fist. And I'm like, almost got it. Actually, there's a few things wrong with it. Almost got it. And then I turned right back around. Did that one. This one I like too. But again, it's missing that fist because of the pose. But that one actually came out pretty good too. And my Mirko, which I didn't, I need to redo because the ones I actually did, her head's a little too squared. And it didn't come out right. Let's see, let's change up our playlist. All right. Ooh. Yeah, now our Chung Li is actually going to print big enough for us to actually see it, for Christ's sake. So let's see how this model did. Did pretty solid. They got the fingers and the face. I'm really more interested in details. Okay. I don't know what that is over there. Some little details that could have gotten right. That's really polyed. This one at least came out a lot smoother. I don't know which one I should roll with. I kind of like the first one. Yeah, I like this one. At least has more consistent details. Let's see. Again, just for a simple model, it's not awful. It's not bad. Just something for fun. The paint. Actually pretty solid. Okay, so now what I want to do, let's see. I already have one of these. I'm not worried about that. What I want to try, what I want to see is how's that backdrop going to look, yo? How is that going to look? That's what I'm curious about. Is that going to look cool or what? All right. Oh, don't do that. I feel like my internet's bombing. Come on. Oh, my internet. Oh, wait, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I know. I want to know what the sand ship is going to look like. Like, I'm so curious as to how this is going to actually look. I feel like it's going to take forever. Okay. We got something. Also, I don't know. I keep hearing my chat go off, but I swear to God, I don't see it actually going off. Chung-Li. Oh, yeah. Our Chung-Li looks like it's going to be fine. I'm really hoping that prints through. Let's see. I like this one. I just don't know if I'll keep it. It's got decent detail. It's not great detail. Let's see. Yeah, it's got pretty decent detail. Let's see. I'm always just looking for the minute stuff. That one's pretty okay. This one's a close second. This one's really close. Really close. Let's see. Do we have our backdrop? We do not have our backdrop. But this one is a mild close second. That I can delete. That little piece hanging off, I can delete that. Because I think that's a part of what the base was on. I do like this one. It just has a few things. I gotta get a little bit more proficient at Blender. Yeah. It's a few things I noticed here and there. I think I like that one a little bit more. That one came out a little bit more clean. Yeah, I feel like that one came out a little bit more clean. Yeah. I might roll with that one. Just because. Let's see. Yeah. I might roll with that one. Okay. Let's see what our sand ship looks like, yo. Bruh, this actually printed. Like, that actually printed. That actually printed kind of okay. Some minor detail in the interior. We're looking at. Hmm. Door latch isn't really connected though. It's not bad. Just for fun, that's really not bad. Let's try another one though. Let's try to get that drop ship going. I think I'm gonna run with that sand. Just for fun. Then I'm gonna go look at some actual official models because there are a few things I do want to paint. I want to see if someone's got to have a Punisher figure. I would love to paint the Punisher. I really want to do that. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna let that cook something up real quick. The Punisher. Let's get the actual Punisher. Ooh. Oh, see, I gotta print all this stuff. I'm not good at painting miniatures. Hmm. Damn, bro. Let me see. Someone's gotta have a. Oh, hang on. Really? I figured they had the Punisher in here. No. Matter of fact, hang on. Let's do Frank Castle. Bruh. These niggas actually gave me castles. That's wild. Who else they got up here? They do got a couple of Venom and Spider-Man. Ooh. All right, chat. Should I paint Venom? Oh, the Venom bust is actually pretty dope. Ooh, I really might have to do that one. Bro, I might have to do that. Oh, that's one solid piece. Yeah. 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 Yes, please. Zip file. Let's download that because I absolutely will. Okay. Let's save that. I didn't mean to do that. Shoot. I definitely want to download and print that. 3D printing SCL files. What? Shoot, man. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, no, that Venom is dope. I want to see how that's actually going to look. Damn, that's hard. Okay. Let's see what our Saiyan ship looks like. Not bad, not great, not awful. It needs to catch that latch onto the door. You know what? The best of three. I always try and do the best of three. Let's do that. I really wish there was a Saiyan space pod. Just a space pod. Because I would just print the space pod and then just make a rocky, like a rocky kind of base. But the fact that there is no space pod, it's kind of throwing this into a bit of a tizzy. Okay, we're gonna let that cook. I think we're gonna run with this model. Okay. Let's export this one. Let's actually see what this looks like. Let's see what this one actually looks like in the print file. Because remember, this is not the final look for what this is going to be. Perfect. I think I'm just going to download the STL file for right now. Bam. Perfect. So let's see what this actually looks like. Let's start a new project. We got a Chung-Li painting right now, or printing right now, I should say. Or yeah, this is not gonna look bad at all. Let me actually see. There we go. You guys can actually see it now. It's not going to be a bad model at all. That actually will be pretty decent. Okay. So we might actually, I might do that one this weekend, or I might do Chung-Li. Bet. That actually looks pretty okay. So how's our last spaceship look? That's the real question. If I can get a decent spaceship, we might be able to put this whole thing together if I can get it like a halfway decent base. That's going to take a few tries. It's going to take a few tries. I might actually see if I can find a Saiyan ship somewhere. Not quite what I'm looking for. Chat, I do got to start getting ready for work in a little bit, and just a little bit. Might have about another 15 or 20 minutes or so. So let's play around. I did make something else. Or I did generate something else. Let me see here. Photo ideas. Yeah, I have not been putting my files in the right thing. I just want to see how that would look. Our little mech. So we got Chung-Li printing in the background. Let's see. We got a Saiyan warrior here in the background. Let me show you guys a few of the models that I've been working on. I got a few models I actually do need to queue up the paint. Let's see. You guys have already seen Lady Deadpool. You guys haven't seen the Lady Deadpool bust, which is just glorious. This was the initial Lady Deadpool I was going to do, but I wanted the full figure because I wanted to actually put together a set piece for. As you guys know, this is still one of my favorites. Still one of my absolute favorites. Love this piece. Love it. Still gotta figure out who I'm giving that away to. Because I need to sign and date that thing too. But yeah, that was the original Lady Deadpool. What else do we have up here? Oh, I'm gonna let you guys see one really cool. The Legend of Zelda. We got the Gerudo Valley. I can never remember their name. I know they're the Gerudo Valley, the Watch Over Gerudo Valley and the OG Legend of Zeldas. It's low key supposed to be for my girlfriend. Cause she loves Zelda. I just need to actually put that one together and print it. That actually is going to be a solid piece. Love that thing. I like how all the female models I do come out like dumb thick. I swear to God, I don't be trying to do it. Ooh. Oh. Lightning, Final Fantasy. I'm actually doing that for a friend. So we got some pieces coming up. That one's going to be fun. We got some actual pieces coming up here. But yeah, we got Lightning from Final Fantasy up here. I'll let you guys see some of the stuff I've been cooking up. Oh, yeah, the main thing, the female Venom. Absolutely love this thing. That one's going to be a lot of fun to do too. That one's going to be a blast. I don't know which one I should do next. Chat, what should I do next? That's awesome. I really like that. That one's going to be fun. So what else we got cooking up here? Ooh. I got a couple up here. Oh yeah. Carnage. I did have Carnage up here too. I love that one. Yeah, the Carnage is cute. I do have that one. That one is awesome. I might do that one. I got a lot of stuff here I want to print and paint, man. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff I really want to make. What else do I have in here that I have not shown? Oh, you guys haven't seen Dark Magician Girl. Yeah, that's another one I got to do. The Dark Magician Girl bust for all my Yu-Gi-Oh fans out there. That one's going to be a load of fun. All right, so let's see how our Trend is coming along here. Oh, that is hollow. That is almost, ooh. Yeah, that's not it. I just wanted to see how that would look. That is definitely not the move. But guys, I'm gonna call it for now. I gotta start getting ready for work. This has been fun. If you got any questions, comments, let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can't work on this backdrop piece behind the scenes. Tomorrow I'll be back. We'll be doing a painting session of maybe Chung-Li or this Tasmanian devil I have a commission of. But until next time, guys, happy painting. See you tomorrow.